I'm back. Let's get started. So, one thing I noticed is that a lot of us women think that we're exception to the rule when it's a complete opposite, and that could put you in dangerous situations. Now, let's start. Why do we think we're exception to the rule a lot of times? Well, for starters, propaganda. I would say this, like installed in homes. It don't have to be necessarily movies, TV show, even though it does play a role. I'm talking about like, for example, where when you call out your dad or you call out a male one night and you're like, oh my goodness, you guys don't listen, you guys do this one night, your mom or someone's like, no, not all men, not all, there's a guy out there, they basically kind of justify, if that makes sense. Or they or if they be like, oh, if you meet all this criteria, nothing will happen to you. So basically, like, let's say you go to church 2 times a week, you pay your tithes, dress modest, you cook and clean, you do all these things, you got a bachelor's degree, and then you have a good guy one night, well, what you think is a good guy, and you think he won't do any bad thing to you. Why? Because you're exception to the rule, because you met the criteria, when that is so false. Another thing is that when we watch movies about how, when a good woman meets like, she does everything right, and she does, like, she it should not happen to her because she does it right. And I feel like a lot of them feel like they're such a role because of that. Or another thing is that, for example, like, they don't want to, how should I say it, they have a delusion of what's going on in their mind, of everything that's happening. Like, their husband's not cheating on her, or like, her friends are her friends, you know what I'm saying? Because they hate that you're going to break that delusion for them, so they keep the delusion tight knitted, and they think they're subject to the rules. Like, well, not to me, and a lot of them sometimes are arrogant enough where, the stories, sad stories where we see like what happened to women when they're with bad friends or a bad guy, whatever, and sadly they're not here with us, or they're somewhere off, mentally not here with us or something like that. Anyways, and then I even see women in comments like, oh, she shouldn't have done this, she shouldn't have done that, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, a lot of women think that is never going to happen to them. I'm just like sitting here thinking, you may be his first witness. You may be his first victim, or your best friend's first victim. Someone doesn't have to have a track record in order for you to get the hint that they're going to do something. I mean, a track record is a purified example that you should take note and run away. You know what I'm saying? But let's get started to how to break that exemption. Number one, it's just gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Stop putting a box of why it happens, you know what I'm saying, to other people. What I mean by this is, for example, when people cheat, when people's like, oh my gosh, how can you cheat on someone so beautiful, someone so talented? How can you cheat on Beyonce? How can you cheat on Wizard Liz? They cheat on beautiful people. This is why we don't, if there's not hope for them, I mean, look at us. First of all, let me put it like this. They're gonna do it regardless. No matter how ugly, no matter how beautiful, fat, skinny, don't even matter. Race, ethnicity, accent, language, it don't matter. An evil person is an evil person. Okay, don't think you're that type of girl to be like, Javis, this is not like you. Stop it. No, Javis is gonna push you out the way and do you dirty. I just made up this whole scenario, but you get the point. Because I feel as though a lot of us women think we're exception to the rule, because just because it happened to you doesn't mean it's going to happen to me mentality. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter how talented, it don't matter how beautiful, no matter how much money you make, it don't matter. It's going to happen. Now, the best way to make sure it most likely don't happen is to actually listen to women when they tell their stories. And not try to be like, well, if she does this, if she does, just listen, take heed of warning. For example, you have an older woman that's like telling you like, hey, that guy's not right for you one night, or like she's telling you like, hey, in case this happens, do this one night. You're over here like, oh, he'll never do that to me. I know him. You never know a man. Okay, listen to me right now. You do not know anybody really. You only know what they put out. And the best way, if you can ever know someone, is a fruit slip. Or learn psychology and then using that to your advantage. Okay, stop being so freaking defensive. When someone's telling you something, shut up and listen. This ain't no time for, I know him or I know her. She would never do that. That's how we play. Shut up. Shut up. Because the people that's trying to tell you this advice and whatnot, they wish they had someone that told them that advice. Okay? Will it hurt? Absolutely. But shut up and get over it. Next step, shut up and get over it. But seriously though, please do. Because when you do that, you start to open your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Because love can blind you, either in relationship, rather in a friendship, rather, or even siblings. When in a good example, people, especially who have like family members that's not from America, and you can see where they be like, when your parents be like, oh, they're not your friends, and they tell you all this good stuff, but they don't follow that advice for their siblings or their family members. Why? Because they're blinded by love, loyalty, trust, runs in the family, that type of deal, and that can blind you, and that can mess you up. Okay? No offense, it messed up a Wizard Liz. It can mess up anyone. Take heed of warning. Can you mess up? Yes, you can mess up. Okay, I'm not saying you had to be perfect with this. Okay, I'm not saying it's gonna be perfect, but I am saying don't be. I know some of us are like young. You can be young. Like when I say young, I don't mean like age wise. I'm talking about like you could be 40 and still be naive. But I am talking about in a sense where you can be naive to thinking you're wise and thinking you know the game because you're older and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? In reality, you don't. You know what I'm saying? So be quiet, take heed of warning, you know what I'm saying? So, because I remember that happened too many times. I remember how some grown women even sound dumb as doorknob. Like you might as well think they're 20, but the way they're speaking, you know what I'm saying? Because they think they're exception to the rule. For example, I remember I was talking to this older lady, and there's other older ladies with us and whatnot. And some of them, they already got done with their relationships, some of they already lived the life or whatever, And this other lady, she thinks she's an exception to the rule. She's never married, whatnot. She's more like a pig. She was the best way to describe her. She reminded me of the Parkers. What's her name? Nikki Parker. Yeah, she reminded me of Nikki Parker. Best description. And she's not funny. So I remember how we was talking one night, and I said, yeah, I'm not going to share a bank account with my man if I was to ever get married, and she looked, she's like, what do you mean? And she started talking about how, mind you, she's not even married. She never was married. By the way, she was 50 years old at this time. I think she's like 60 now. But anyways, She's like, oh, what you mean? If I was with my man, I would share this bank account, whatnot. Oh, you need to learn how to love and trust your man. See, if you love and trust your man, he probably wouldn't do all that. Now, all the ladies that's listening to this video, I think we all know good darn well, that's not how it works in life, especially with men. But because she was a Nikki Parker, and I did make a video by Nikki Parker, so please watch that video, she thought she was exception to the rule. Why? Because of that mentality I just said. She thought if she followed the rule of you love and trust your man, he probably won't act like that. When in reality, that's false. That's false. And and I would say men and people and vicious people, including women who wants to be friends with you and pull you down and tear you apart, rely on you to follow the exception to the rule. They want you to follow this. Why? So they continue using you. Okay, you cannot be Exotical Barbie and still be not over here. Absolutely not. You need to be over here. We try to educate ourselves, and we try to listen to each other's advices. So any other Exotical Barbies that have any advice, please give it down below of how you came out of that I'm exception to the rule type deal mindset, you know what I'm saying? Because even though I give you some tips and whatnot, or like story, like not really story times, but like examples or whatever, please let me know how you feel about this and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's continue on. Another thing is listen to other women's stories, because low-key you could literally find yourself with these stories like, oh, that sounds similar to me, because I know it sure did happen to me. You know, when I was watching funny enough, you know those like on Tubi or on Lifetime has a show like oh no, it's on Tubi. It's called like My Crazy Ex something right now. Stories, when the people are telling their stories about their crazy ex or whatever. And I've been listening to the storylines, and I realized when I was younger, you know, I was like, oh my gosh, I am just like these ladies, thought I was accepted to the role, did the same dumb stuff, and I saw a pattern recognition. I realized if I don't stop it, I might be on the show, be like, hey, this is my crazy ex, you know what I'm saying? So I changed that immediately, okay? And this is not to here to judge other women. When I say listen to her stories, I'm like, oh my gosh, you did this one. It's more like, oh, pattern recognition, learning, you know what I'm saying, and educating. This is what we're here for in this channel. So if you do tell your story and whatnot, just know, if anyone try to give you a hate comment, I will delete it, okay? Just know that, babes. Because I believe when you tell your story and whatnot, especially if you have grown from that, like, hey, I did this when I was younger and whatnot, and I realized that, whatever, this is a safe place, okay? Because we all not perfect, okay? Especially from Exotical Barbies that had to like learn and grow from that pick me mindset, or from that I'm exception to the rule, you know. And the reason I say that can be dangerous with the being exception to the rule and not is because there's stories out there, and we see it all the time with us ladies, when girls be friends with other girls, even though the mom said not tell the girl, she's like, don't be friends with those girls. When the girl didn't listen, and she wind up not here with us, you know. Or same thing, go to the girl with her husband, you know what I'm saying? Those can be dangerous, like really, really dangerous. Okay, and it can start off small, like, oh no, he just only cheated, that doesn't mean it does mean. A red flag is a red flag, babes. And just because it seems minor to you doesn't mean it's not gonna wind up big, because it can wind up huge. I'm just letting you know right now. Stop thinking you're exception to the rule. You're not. Okay? And just listen to these ladies' advices, okay? It may be hard, it may be rough. I'm telling you, once you open your eyes, you can never close it back up again. And trust and believe your life will be more peaceful. You be like, oh, when I hang out with my friends now, the ones that make and whatnot, that you realize you cut off, like besides the other ones you cut off on now, you be like, oh, my life is so much peaceful and whatnot. Why? Because you actually listen to the other woman's advices. Okay. Anyways, tell me how you feel. Was you ever accepted to the rule type girl? Have you broke away from it? Are you still trying to? You know what I'm saying? How did you broke off from I'm exception to the rule? Let me know. Comment down below. Like and subscribe for some more. Bye.